In this series, we're building a retirement planning web app from scratch using Google Apps Script web app. We will build a professional-looking, real fintech product within a couple of hours with completely free tools.
Hey everyone, welcome back. If you've been following along, we've already built a beautiful green and gold interface for our retirement wizard.
But right now, it's just a pretty face. It doesn't actually think. Today, in Lesson 3, we are going to build the actual brain of our application, the core mathematical calculation engine. By the end of this video, your app will take a user's age and family type, run real-world financial math in the background, and instantly output their personal retirement goals. No clunky spreadsheets, no expensive paywalls, just pure code working for you. Hosted completely free on your Google Drive. Let's build this together. Open up your Google Apps Script Editor, Retirement Planning Wizard Project, and let's dive right in. First, let's fix a small problem. Up until now, if a user made a mistake, we used a standard browser alert box. It looks super outdated, and honestly, we want our app to look like a premium tool. So let's replace those native alerts with a beautiful custom pop-up window called a modal. Open your index.html file, scroll all the way to the bottom, and look for your closing body tag. Right before that tag, outside of all your other wizard boxes, we are going to paste our new modal HTML code structure. Go ahead and grab the snippet labeled index.html modal box code from our resource folder and paste it right here. This creates a hidden window that sits in the background, waiting to pop up whenever we need to tell our user something important. Now that the hidden modal window is in our HTML, we need a way to turn it on and off using JavaScript. Scroll down into your script block. We are going to replace our entire existing script block with the updated version from our code pack called index.html lesson 3 JS logic for modal code. This code adds two simple helper functions. Think of them like light switches. One turns the modal on, so it appears on screen with whatever message we want, and the other turns it off when the user clicks the close button. We also updated our step navigation logic to use this new modal if someone skips a step. So now that we updated a big chunk of code, it's time to save and test this part of the application. Click floppy disk icon to save the new changes. And also, we need to deploy these new changes. Click blue deploy button, manage deployment, edit with pencil icon, new version, and deploy. You will get new web app link. Click it to open the web page again. It's very important to test at each step to make things work out. Otherwise, you will have no idea what caused the problem and what is breaking. So let's test this with some incorrect combination. Current age 45 and retirement age 35. That should bring up the modal pop-up when clicked next step. Oh yes, that's working! Now for the most exciting part of today's build, the dashboard itself. When our user answers all the questions, the input forms need to disappear, and a beautiful results dashboard needs to take over the screen. Find the line in your HTML that says div ID equals dashboard container. Right now, it's pretty empty. We are going to completely replace that old block with our premium responsive grid layout. Copy the entire block labeled Lesson 3 Index HTML Dashboard Layout code and paste it right inside that container. This code sets up our beautiful metric cards. They use clean CSS grids, so they look fantastic on both desktops and mobile phones, leaving perfect slots open for our mathematical engine to inject the real numbers. Now let's deploy and test everything. Save your files, click Deploy. Manage deployments, click the pencil icon, select New Version, click Deploy. Refresh your Awesome! Now your core dashboard shell is up and running. All right, the layout is ready. Now let's write the actual financial logic. Scroll down to your script block and look for a function called Process Onboarding. This is literally the brain of our app. This is where the magic happens. Replace your old empty Process Onboarding function with our master script block called Lesson 3 index.html Process Onboarding Script Code. Let's break down exactly how this brain thinks about the data your user inputs. It solves 3 massive financial equations instantly. Equation number 1 is the simplest: time. The code looks at this line right here. It takes the target retirement age and subtracts the user's current age. Simple subtraction. If you are 35 and want to retire at 65, the app calculates 65 minus 35 and knows you have exactly 30 years left to build wealth. Equation number 2 is a big one. It figures out your target nest egg, the total amount of money you actually need to save up. To do this, our script goes through 3 smart financial steps. Step A, the starting budget. The app makes an educated guess on your baseline needs today based on your household. It assigns $70,000 for a single user, $90,000 for a couple, and $105,000 for a family. Step B, the inflation adjustment. Because things get more expensive over time, the app factors in a standard 3% annual inflation rate. It raises that budget by 3% for every single year you have left until retirement. This tells us what your lifestyle will actually cost in the future. Step C, the multiply by 25 rule. Finally, it uses a famous financial standard called the Rule of 25. If you multiply your future annual budget by 25, you get a total nest egg balance that can safely sustain you for the rest of your life. Equation number 3 determines the recommended strategy. It tells the user how aggressive they should be with their investments based entirely on their time horizon. If they have more than 15 years left to go, the app outputs growth mode, encouraging them to maximize market gains because time is on their side. Under 15 years, it shifts to balanced mode to start preserving wealth. And if they are 5 years or less away, it triggers safe mode because it's time to protect that hard-earned money. All right, we are finally at the finish line. We finished writing the core logic and back-end calculation engine for our retirement planning wizard. Now, for the best part, let's actually deploy this thing and see it in action. Let's do a quick double check of our calculation engine right here in index.html. We've set a baseline living cost of $70,000, which dynamically scales depending on the user's profile type, whether they select single, family, or couple. We're also running a standard future value inflation formula at a 3% average rate, alongside a 4% safe withdrawal rule to calculate the final nest egg. Everything looks clean and ready to launch. Click Deploy at the top right corner of your app script editor. Manage deployment, new version, and click Deploy. Here is our live retirement planning wizard dashboard. As you can see, we've got a clean web app interface. Let's start by putting in some test data. We'll say our user's current age is 45, and let's set the target retirement age to 65. Notice how smooth that UI is? Up here, our dynamic progress bar tells the user exactly where they stand. 50% complete, right on track, before moving to the financial deep dive. Now, when we hit Next Step, our Google Apps Script backend is going to process these variables and take us to the financial inputs. If you've been following along with the series, this is where all our HTML service and CSS styling finally come together. If your script isn't loading quite like this, don't panic. Check your deployment settings and make sure your web app is executed as me and accessible to anyone. Drop a comment below if you're hitting any errors and we can debug that as a comment. Or celebrate your financial dashboard app with your success comments below. We did it! We just turned our static design into a fully functioning smart web application. Your calculation engine is officially up and running. In our next lesson, we are going to take this a step further by collecting other data for the retirement planning, making our app look even more professional. If you ran into any bugs or got an error code, don't worry at all. Drop a comment right below this video with your code snippet, and let's debug it together as a community. All source code links are down in the description box. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss lesson 4, and I will see you in the next build.